everyone, welcome back to WTV. This is the Manchester United versus Manchester City versus Manchester United preview. It's the Manchester Derby, which will be taking place at the Etihad. It feels like ages since United have played a game, but we're back, and it's in City as well. A bit of team news in that Ruben Diaz will not be available for the Citizens. However, they still, of course, have Stones and Laporte at centre back, which was still two very good centre backs. And yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough game for us. Pep Guardiola, one of the greatest managers in recent generation, and of course, City won the league last season. As of right now, they are the title holders. So yeah, it's going to be a tough game. So let's see what happens. So yeah, we have Neil here with me. So yeah, give us a shot on the game, man.
We haven't been in good form, in my opinion. And shout out to Jadon Sancho, who won the Manchester United Player of the Month
Yeah,
for
for my votes.
February, and I'm very happy. And it's I guess deserved as well. I guess deserved as well. I think so. Second best was Sancho, or Varane could have been possibly would have been second best for man of the match contender because he played extremely well because people doesn't recognize how good he's of a defender because people only look at attackers but they don't see that but they don't watch how the defense sacrifices themselves to do not let the go so that the ball should not go behind the line goal. And I'm really happy. And I guess Varane is one of them. I know Maguire is shite, but I think so. Varane and Lindelof they can come make a good pair of centre back pairing. Even Vi and Varane, amazing. But Maguire should be But I think, but yeah, moving on to the match game day. First of all, what should I say? Means I have no words. Because I'm not. First of all, I'm not at all effing confident about this derby. We should be excited, and it's as usual. Means not like last season, but now this we don't have Oli. Now we have Ralph Ragnick, and this can be his biggest game of the season. Right till now, this can be his biggest game. I know apart from Atletico and Leeds, this is his biggest game because this defines that what he can prove against. Because I think so. Earlier, has he faced Pep Guardiola earlier? I don't know. Has he?
Think so. I
I,
mean, he might have at Bayern when he was at one Pep at Bayern, maybe.
Oh yeah, when he was a Schalke manager, yeah, he could have.
Yeah.
But apart from that, I think so. I still rate Ragnick as a manager, and I will never blame him for his faults because he picked up the right team last time out against Watford. But it unfortunately, I don't know what happened. Means to players, have they eaten some sleeping pills or what to play? I don't know. They can't score goals. We dominated the whole game. I only remember Watford having quite a few chances, but still they were also shite, and we dominated the whole game. And it's like Maguire and Rashford and Jordan played, we played so well without
We
those
couldn't
three.
finish it. Anyway.
And this is not mean this is absolutely horrible from us. City are in a much better form than us. I know that who stopped them from winning for the title. I forgot. I guess it was forgot
So,
I forgot. One sec.
okay, what did you say?
Last time. No, one sec. I'm just checking a stat that City were beaten, right? Yeah, they were beaten means okay. Last match they won against Everton. Last match
Hmm.
they won, and Everton, and they actually and it was and I actually saw the actually heard it from Everton fans that it was an unfair result because City robbed the game at the
Yeah, yeah,
end.
yeah. Actually, like the even the FA, I think they even gave a public apology to Everton for not giving them a penalty.
They were being robbed, and they said that, and Evertonian said that Everton was a far better team. Their midfield dominated that game. The midfield, especially of Decore, Van de Beek, and Alan, each and every player, those three midfielders getting nine in that game against City. And means imagine if we had Donny right now and play him beside Pogba and playing as because in Everton he's actually playing as a more as a CDM, as a fighting midfielder, as a more as a N'Golo Kante, you know. And imagine if we had him, but means we still have that Fred and McTominay. Means bloody hell. I still mean, but I would right now I would rate McTominay over Fred because Fred was awful. He's awful. He's been awful. I know there was a certain period of time when Ollie left. He was really good, but I don't rate Fred right now. But and moving on to the game, I'm not at all confident. First of all, and Ragnick said that he's in his press conference that I'm here at the end of the season, and it is important to develop the players and develop the team. I'm always there and will tell people my opinion. Then, oh yeah, did you saw the clip that one MEFC fan he said that in the summer we've been rumored to Kunde, Haaland, and Rice. Then Ragnick said that yeah, you must be dreaming, right? Because he knows that the club won't do it. The board, they're shite. The board are shite, and especially the owners.
Also, I don't want that either because the thing is, I think this summer we can't afford to spend 100 or 200 million pounds on a single player. We need to spend.
Rice,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
player I don't need is Rice. First of
yeah,
all,
we don't need to, like, if we have a 200 million budget, we don't need to spend that on two players. We need to spend that on 3 or 4 players.
we need in the summer we need a CDM, even a backup midfielder. If Pogba goes, if when Van de Beek decides, Van de Beek stays. If Van de Beek stays in the next season, then we need a backup midfielder. We need to sell Fred, bring another midfielder. We need midfielders, man, because Pogba is leaving at the end of the season. We never know if he'll stay or not. I think so. Most probably he won't stay because he's on to way to Real or Juve. He could be on his way to Real Madrid or Juve because he hasn't signed a contract with us, and I don't think so. He will. I don't think so. He will, and we need a good, and we need. I think so. It's time now. We have to bring in a backup, a striker as well, a backup striker because Ronaldo, if he stays next season, we need to, buy a backup striker. We need to buy a backup striker for Ronaldo. We need a good centre back as well, a starting good centre back, who can partner with
Yeah,
Varane.
I would go for. Yes, I mean, I would go for Kunde.
I will go for Rudiger.
Oh yeah, Rudiger. Oh yeah, it's
I will
pretty.
go. I will go for Rudiger because he's for CDM. Of course, I'll go for Kessie because I think I rate him over Declan Rice, and he's much more, and his contract's expiring. And we had the option to sign Brozovic, but he recently signed a contract extension with Inter
He's
Milan.
old
So
as well. He's old as well.
what?
He's pretty old as well.
Brozovic?
Yeah, it's like 32 or 33.
What? No, he's 29.
Oh, okay. I thought he was in his 30s.
Nah, he's 29. He looks old, but he's not. He looks old,
Yeah.
but he's not. But and also, I think so. We need a backup winger, left winger, not a right winger, in my opinion, because Rashford, I think so. He could be. He also is one of the players who could be on his way out of Manchester United. He could be. Teeth, we never know. He could be on his way out of Manchester United because he has been. Because because it's a real report saying that because Ten Hag is leaving next season. Ajax. He's leaving Ajax next season, and he is now interested in the United job. He's interested in the United job, and his stocks have been risen. If he comes to the club, I'll be really, really happy for him for our club because he's the type because Ragnick rates him. Even our forgot his name, John Murtog. John Murtog. I don't know, man. Who is the CEO after director of football after Ed Woodward?
I think it's not sure. Might be Matt Judge.
I forgot, but he also said that he rates Ragnick, but players want Pochettino, and I don't care. Means some Muppets need because I know who needs. I know which players need Pochettino, like players like Fred, then Maguire, then some clowns like McTominay. I'm sorry to call McTominay a clown, but he hasn't been in a better form as well. But he has been in a better form than Fred, and Ragnick said on Rashford. Ragnick also said about Rashford that there are a few things that have happened in last few months that could not have been overseen. Marcus has got everything for a modern striker. I will put all my energy in helping him the same pathway as everyone in the last few months.
Wait, Marcus Rashford.
What?
Wait, Marcus Rashford. He's a
Yeah,
striker.
Yeah, as a power striker.
Rashford is talking about playing Marcus Rashford at striker.
Because remember in academy Rashford.
Emotional damage.
I know this may sound ridiculous, but don't get me wrong, Steve. He was a striker at our academy, and Mourinho converted him to a left winger.
But he isn't a striker. Like he just doesn't have to trace to be a striker.
Because his finishing is awful. His finishing is not awful. His finishing is very inconsistent.
Like it's inconsistent. His back to goal is not good enough.
He's very selfish.
What?
At times he can be selfish.
I mean, yeah, but for a striker being selfish is okay, but still, his hold-up play probably non-existent as a striker.
Awful. He's not Lukaku. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yeah, and then also, and he isn't really physically strong either. The only thing he really has going for him is pace, but pace alone won't be enough.
And Cavani is back at training as well, so he could be part of the Sunday squad. Ragnick, the same sort. So he talked about Man City again. That we know that we are playing not if not the best team in the world. They have developed well since Pep Guardiola arrived. The same happened at Bayern Munich and Barcelona. He's one of the best. Ragnick also asked about if he thought about the permanent Manchester United Football Club job. He said, I have no idea. I haven't made any thoughts about that because my focus is on Sunday and then on Tottenham, Spurs and Atletico. There is no time for me to think about that. Yeah, that's true. And Diogo Dalot, and this is a very interesting fact. Under Ralph Rangnick, Manchester United haven't lost a league game.
Lost a single game. Manila has didn't.
I don't see why we play that more on Wan-Bissaka. Why we play that more on Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah, well, I think it's about time we get to the starting 11 that we will pick for this derby. So yeah, so can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah.
Okay, so in goal here, of course.
No question. Don't even think about it. And sorry to interrupt you, Pete. But another news is coming up that Dean Henderson could be on his way out to Newcastle United next season, and we are on the verge of, and Sam Johnston, former Manchester United Football Club goalkeeper, academy player, has a verbal agreement with Manchester United so that he could join Manchester United.
I'm fine with that. That's good because then we'll have around 40 or 50 million extra in the summer.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, he's a good goalkeeper though, Sam Johnston. He's a Manchester United favorite.
Yeah, I remember that save he made against us when they drew against us 1-1. That Maguire last minute save he made.
And remember, he's a United faithful, so yeah, he can do wonders for us.
Yeah. So 2 centre backs, I would go for Varane and Lindelof. But it's probably going to be. Happy.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Maguire and not Lindelof. Happy birthday to Maguire and Freds.
But I still think that Ragnick will play drop Lindelof and play Maguire.
Probably will. Left back, Luke Shaw. I'll go for Luke Shaw because I think Mahrez will absolutely tear Telles apart.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah. So I will go for Telles. Sorry, I'll go for Shaw. Sorry, right back it has to be Dalot, but Dalot is not that good defensively, actually.
Yeah, he isn't good defensively, but we'll be defensive in this game. I think we won't be on the front foot.
True.
So yeah. True. So CDM. So this is the thing. Okay, I think for us to win this game, I think we have to play McFred because it's the only way we'll be able to. Our defense will be stable enough to cope with against Manchester City, and we've seen it before. McFred tends to do well against Man City.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, I don't like McFred. It's not a future option, but for this game, I honestly think we should play McFred. And
so what about Pogba? What about Sancho?
After wing.
What about Elanga?
Elanga, it's too much pressure for him. Come on, it's too much pressure for him.
Okay, then play McFred, man. I can't believe it, man. But I still think that McTominay should start and Pogba should be more of a defensive role and Bruno at cam.
We can do that. We can do that. Yeah, Pogba, but he'll have to be defensive. He can't go forward too much in this game. He has to do some defensive
So I
work
think
as
so.
well.
Play Fred only, Fred, and play Pogba at the wing then.
Yeah, okay. You know,
I thought
and
you
then
would you were going to play Cadwell, Fred, and DD.
if only Philip Pogba, and then Sancho, and then striker Ronaldo. Uh, so yeah, that's the team we pick for the Manchester derby tomorrow. David De Gea in goal, Varane, Lindelof as two centre backs, then Shaw left back to the right back, McTominay, Fred and Bruno as midfields. Then our front three would be Pogba, Ronaldo, and Sancho. So yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Let's see what happens. Will you watch the game tomorrow? Actually.
Yeah, I will. But
Okay.
on his goal, can't on TV.
Okay. Okay, then so yeah, not really sure what's gonna happen tomorrow. Hopefully we win. To be honest, I wouldn't even take
Win,
it so.
win. Are you sure
Hopefully,
about that?
hopefully.
Because I mean, I don't believe in this team. I believe in Ragnick, but not in this team.
I mean, it's a derby though, anything can happen, and we have a pretty good record at the Etihad.
And yeah, means don't forget, I was like really, I was not negative, but I was not confident for the derby when Oli was in bad form. And look at what he did, double over Guardiola, double.
Triple actually,
Oh,
in
yeah, triple.
1920.
I would say quadruple.
Quadruple, not
No,
quadruple. I
no,
don't think.
listen. And that season he beat at that season he beat Guardiola 3 times.
Yeah,
Then the next season fourth time away. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying. That's what I'm
yeah,
saying.
yeah. Yeah, but from City, what we probably expect is probably just possession-based football. To try to have as much of the ball as possible. Where fullbacks are gonna bomb forwards. They aren't gonna play with a number 9. They'll create chances.
Their most dangerous player right now is Phil Foden.
Yeah, Phil Foden has been in great form for them. So City will create chances. We just have to pray that they won't take their chances and that we can create chances and try to take our chances. I guess it's a really difficult game. So it's going to be a very difficult game to win against City. But it's a Manchester derby. Anything can happen. It's a derby. Anything can happen in a derby. But yeah, hopefully we manage to win this game. Not, but even draw this game. Just not lose this game, because I just don't think a loss would be a great result. Of course, a loss is never a great result, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be a hard game. This and yeah. So as predictions.
I mean, I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be positive, but 2-1 United. Because we are going to concede. Let's face it. Even having Varane and Lindelof in defense, we are going to concede.
Yeah.
If McFred, but they always seem to perform against not against means Liverpool away at Anfield. I saw McFred last season at Anfield. Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that they were really good, to be honest, but they were really lucky because Anfield is a place of it's a place of death for away teams
I think the main reason McFred
because of the
seems to do
crowd.
well. I think the main reason they seem to do well against City and Liverpool is because City and Liverpool, they tend to attack a lot. They're very attacking teams, and McFred and McFred are pretty good defensively. When
Not that
they
great, not that great defensively.
not that
McTominay,
great, but in a game where you have to work
they're
hard,
basically
track back,
they're very
make
energetic.
tackles.
You mean they're very
Yeah,
energetic.
yeah, and against teams like City and Liverpool, that energy and ability to fight for the shirt, it comes into play, and yeah, and of course we do, and of course we also have players to bring off the bench tomorrow. If Ragnar goes to the starting 11 we picked, then we have Rashford, Langa, Cavani to bring off the bench, and even if you want to go a bit defensive and maybe control the midfield more, we have Matic. So we do have some decent options off the bench as well. So yeah, it's going to be interesting. I'll say 3-2 to United, because I have a feeling that City's defense might be a bit vulnerable, with Diaz missing. Of course, Laporte and Stones are
Oh,
great centre
Diaz is
backs.
missing. Oh, I didn't knew that.
Yeah,
Wow.
he's out for the game.
Oh, then I will go for three. Then I'll go for 3-1 United.
Yeah, okay, I'll go for 3-2. I think City's defense will be a bit vulnerable. Of course, Laporte and Stones are still a great centre back pairing, but I have a feeling the defense will be a bit more vulnerable. And Cancelo and Walker aren't. Walker's good offensively, but Cancelo isn't really that good defensively.
And
Um,
yeah, and pray for pray for Ukraine as well. Pray for Ukraine
yeah,
as
pray
well.
for Ukraine. Yeah, pray for Ukraine. Of course, that's what's happening to them, and all the best to them. Of course, I think they'll do a similar thing, and they did in the Watford game, and have some Ukraine flag up, which is of course fantastic. So
And
yeah,
so sad to see Mikhailenko, Ozinchenko, in tears. It was really hard for them.
will Zinchenko be in the squad tomorrow?
I guess he will be.
But I don't think they play though, because it's
Okay,
gonna
I
be
will.
tough
I,
for them.
I will discuss. We will discuss this after the show
Yeah,
ends.
yeah. So yeah, so not really much to talk about. Of course, there'll be a watch along tomorrow on this YouTube channel for the game, as always. And yeah, so let's see what happens. And hopefully we get a good result. So yeah, anyways, guys, stop today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to smash the like button, subscribe if you're new, turn on post notifications to be notified when we upload our next video. And yeah.